What's going on, everyone? Dalvazar here with another Digimon TCG related video. This time doing a video very similar to my last deck profile, another deck profile of Red Omnimon. This is a deck that I placed 8th in the TAK or TAK Digimon webcam tournament over the weekend. I only lost once and I tied once, so I went 5-1-1. The decks that I played again, you can see right here on the screen. It did pretty well overall. Only lost to Phoenixmon, and that was pretty much due to a very big misplay on my part. So I don't think it was really the deck's fault in that case, it was just my fault. And then it tied against another Red Omnimon, so yeah. But there are a couple of changes that I made since the last deck profile, which is why I want to go ahead and make another one. And I want to get your guys' thoughts on it. So we'll move this over to the side. But first thing we'll talk about is I decided to mess with the ratios a bit. I have now 4 Gigimon and then just 1 Poromon. I'm still iffy on the Poromon. I'm between this and Coredramon. This one did come up once during the tournament. I only got its effect off once, and that was to kill an Agumon on the board for green. But then the Digimon that I had it under died in the security check because it wasn't, or it died by 1,000. So, you know, it worked, but then it also ended up getting that Digimon killed. So, whatever. So, I think it's fine if you want to replace that with a Coredramon. I think that's what most people run. I've just been testing it with Poromon, so there's that. And then Gigimon, I think, is just the best red rookie right now. It's a little bit more consistent than Coredramon, and definitely more useful in the later game. And then for the rookies, we have 4 of the starter deck Agumon. Pretty self-explanatory, gives your Digimon 1,000 points. Still running 4. I've seen some people run 3 of them. I like them at 4. I like Agumon, so I want to keep them at 4, at least until maybe the BT5 Agumon comes out. But even so, I'll probably run this one anyway. And then we have, still unchanged from the last version, 4 Monodramon. Cheap to evolve, level 3, super easy to play. Good for memory starving the opponent if you have 1 memory to kill and you just need to play something. Good for getting board control, and good for just evolving when you need to. Just a really good card. Similarly, we are running 3 of the starter deck Biyomon for the exact same reasons as Monodramon. Really nothing more to say. You can run 4 and 3 if you want. You can run 4 and 4 if you really want to. I like the ratio of 4 and 3 personally. And then I am running 3 Biyomon. So the change up from my last deck is I was running 2 of these Biyomon and then 2 of these, and then running 2 of the promo Agumon. In this deck, and you'll see why a little bit later, the promo Agumon doesn't come up as much as it did in the past, so I decided to just scrap that and put in 1 extra of each Biyomon. This one is, I'm starting to see the appeal of this one, because what you just want to do with this one is you want to play it, or evolve it, and then just swing into security. Most of the time it'll die, but that extra memory that it gives you is so great. It just makes so many plays so much easier to pull off if you just get an extra memory. And worst case scenario, it lives, and you still take out a security. It's great. You can run this at 4 if you really want to. I've seen people play 4 of these and then 3 of like the Agumon, or 2 of just the regular Biyomon or whatever. Personally, I like the Agumon a little bit better. I like the extra 1,000 that it gives a little bit more, so that's why I'm playing that over Biyomon. And the extra 1,000 does come up quite a lot more frequently than you would think. For champions, I have these out of order. Alright, so for champions, I am running, similarly to the last one, 4 DarkTyrannomon. Cheap to evolve. Really nice turn 1 if you can evolve into this near raising area, because it just puts your opponent at 1. They can't do a whole lot unless maybe they're green, or they just also have a cheap to evolve level 1, which honestly every color has, so it's still nice though. And it gives, and it's a 6K, which is really good against like Ultras, Volcanicdramon, anything that can like board wipe you. It's really nice to have a DarkTyrannomon underneath, especially just because Omni or Ultras is everywhere right now. And then again, still unchanged, we have 4 Coredramon. Rookie Rush is still a thing. I built this deck a little bit more to play against Rookie Rush than I did previously. And that's because Rookie Rush has been winning some events recently, so I thought I would see it a lot more often. I only saw it once in the actual tournament, but Coredramon did still come in very clutch against Blue ImperialDramon, just because it stopped that like early game hitting security with like the Vmon and stuff like that. The jamming Vmon, I mean. So yeah, really good card. Everyone should play jammers. At least that's my opinion. There's Rookie Rush is so big right now, and Blue is so big right now. Just play jammers. It's good. Or play blockers, not jammers. And then, different than last time, we are playing 3 of the Greymon, 2 alternate arts, and then 1 of the standard art. I decided to kind of switch things around. I took out a level 4 to put in an extra level 5, so that's why I decided to cut 1 Greymon. He's just the one that I felt like was the easiest to cut. Maybe DarkTyrannomon, but I just like having that cheap to evolve, so it's really good. But Greymon is still like one of the best champions for Red, just because that extra security attack +1 that he gives whatever he evolves into is so important for Red. It really helps the aggro, and honestly, if you're building like a couple stacks of Digimon, chances are they're going to want to focus on whatever the one is that has the Greymon underneath. And then for the ultimates, this is also a little bit changed up. So I have 4 Groundramon and 3 Lavogaritamon. I'm pretty sure in the last deck profile I had 4 of Lavogaritamon and 3 Groundramon. I have terrible luck. I brick all the time. And I feel like with Groundramon, bricking but still having a Groundramon in your hand is still fine, because you can just play it and then evolve into like a Phoenixmon, Volcanicdramon, BlitzGreymon, something next turn. So, it's just a really good card. And chances are you're not going to be swinging that often with a level 5, so you don't have to really worry about like having the extra attack that Lavogaritamon has. And then staying in the ultimates, we have 1 Skullgreymon and then the 1 MetalGreymon from before. For the same reason that I was mentioning, blockers are just really good. That's why I put Skullgreymon in here. Skullgreymon's just, again, really good. I really like how I can just play it and kind of just take the momentum away from the opponent. Especially if you played early game when they just like play a blocker right away. It kind of messes some decks up. Like I was playing against Yellow and they put down like Unimon like second turn. And I didn't really have any other play, so I just played the Skullgreymon, and it kind of threw a little wrench in their plans. I don't know exactly why, but Skullgreymon, just having him is really good. And then MetalGreymon, of course. You could take him out if you really want to. I like the pressure that he gives because, yeah, that extra security attack +2, plus if you have a Greymon underneath him, like, he's a huge threat, and usually he'll have 10 or 11k with inherited effects. So just that on its own, he can take out a good amount of security depending on the deck that you're fighting. So that's why I run 1 of each. If I were to take out anything or make any changes, I would maybe take out the MetalGreymon and put another Lavogaritamon, but honestly, I really like this ratio right now. And now this is where it gets a little weird. So for the level 6s, I am playing 2 Phoenixmon, playing 2 BlitzGreymon, 2 Volcanicdramon, and then 1, you know it, of course, WarGreymon. This is a weird kind of setup that I wasn't sure about, So, again, because Rookie Rush has been pretty prevalent right now, that's why I decided to go ahead and bite the bullet and put in the Volcanicdramons. Originally, I took out the WarGreymon, and then I think I kept in another Phoenixmon, I think. But I just still like WarGreymon's effect, like especially against still Rookie Rush and green and blue. Like, just being able to swing into security and not having to worry about options is really nice. Honestly, he only came up once during the tournament, and I had him at security attack +2, I believe, and first swing in, he hit Omnimon, so there's not much you can do about that. I didn't have any big buffs on him to keep him alive against an Omnimon, so that was kind of unlucky, but I still feel like he would be useful against, like, a lot of decks, so that's why I still keep him in there. And then Volcanicdramon's in here because, again, Rookie Rush is a big thing. He's also really good against just blue decks in general because it wipes out the jamming Vmons, and even against a lot of green decks just because they try and keep a lot of things on board for their Digisorption effects. So being able to kind of wipe out a lot of the board is really nice. BlitzGreymon, of course, is kind of self-explanatory. He's really good. He de-digivolves too, and then also has piercing. Super great. And then Phoenixmon is also just really good. Just evolve straight into him. Swing over almost anything in the game right now. And then go straight into Omnimon. Either Alteress or regular Omnimon, of course. So I think it's great. If you wanted to switch something around, honestly, Volcanicdramon didn't come up too often today because I only fought one Rookie Rush deck, and I don't even think I used him in it. So I might end up taking him out and putting another Phoenixmon in. I feel like I wanted Phoenixmon more than I was getting Volcanicdramon. But I think it could go either way. I kind of do like this ratio because you see a good mix of all three. But yeah, it's still a ratio that I'm going to be playing around with. And then the rest of the deck is pretty similar to what you guys saw before. I'm still running the 2 regular Omnimon and then the 2 Alteress. Honestly, Omnimon, the regular Omnimon, made himself known a lot more in the tournament to me. I managed to get him in one game out. I managed to get both of them out in one game. That was really nice. That was probably my luckiest game of the day. And then Alteress, I don't think is as good as Omnimon in a lot of situations, but he is still really good, especially against those decks that tend to build wide instead of tall. And they're both just really great to see, honestly, and they both do come in handy. Even if you see them in security, which I think most of the time I saw Alteress in security, honestly. I'm pretty sure in like 3 or 4 games I saw him in insecurity for some reason. I'm just like, okay. But I definitely played regular Omnimon a lot more. And then running 2 Tai and 3 Gaia Force. Similar to before, I like the 2 Tai because I do like seeing him. Getting Tai out is a lot better than people give him credit for. Like, people say like, oh, run 1 or don't run any Tai. I love having him out. Having that 3 memory, even though it gives your opponent more room to play around and do that, being memory starved as red really, really sucks. The one mirror match that I had against the other red Omnimon, we were both just memory starving each other the entire game. For game 1, he eventually won. He just eventually just out-tempoed me and just kind of got a better build before I was able to do anything. And the entire tournament, I got Gaia Force in my security once, so woo. But the second game, I was able to get out Tai by like turn 2 or 3, and it was just so easy from that point on. Like, being able to start at 3, sometimes 4 because of Biyomon, is just so nice. So I don't think I'm going to be reducing him down to 1 anytime soon. You can if you really want to, but I really like him at 2. And then Gaia Force. Gaia Force is weird. Gaia Force is a great card. It comes in handy a lot whenever your opponent just builds something big, like a Sarismon, Mega Garglemon, Imperial Dramon, another Omnimon. You can just Gaia Force it. It's great. But the problem is it's never in my security. It was in my security once out of 7 matches. So at least 14, I think 15 games total. It was in my security once, and it was just one of them. But all the other games, I was drawing all 3. And I don't know, this card does not like me, but I still want to run it at 3. I think if you really wanted to, you could remove a Gaia Force and put in another regular Omnimon. I think some people do that. I think it's fine, but I would rather have a Gaia Force so that I could just play instead of having to build up into an Omnimon. Sure, it's easy to build up into an Omnimon in most cases, but usually that Omnimon's gonna die pretty quick. But if with a Gaia Force you just play it once, it's done. Sure, you get some card draws from evolving into Omnimon, but I don't know. I feel like having the 3 Gaia Force and then the 2 Omni is the ratio that I want. I might play around more with having 3 Omnimon and 2 Gaia Force, but we'll see. Either way, I think it's super good. Again, the matches that I won, they were all pretty good matches. There were a few that I felt like were a little easier than others, but for the most part, they were all really good. I played a lot of really nice and really cool people. So if you guys are interested in like webcam tournaments and stuff like that, I would definitely recommend it. You meet a lot of cool people. Everyone's super nice, at least everyone that I've played in the community. And they all have really interesting decks. So yeah. I did record a lot of the games that I played, so if you guys are interested in watching like the actual games and seeing the deck in action, let me know. I might make a video on that. But in either case, thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you might change in this Omnimon deck or what Omnimon deck you're running. Or just whatever deck you're running in general. But anyway, thank you again for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye, friends.